And we are recording. So thank you for coming to the Brave Babble. We do our Brave Babbles every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Facebook kept changing it on me because I'm in Central Time right now, and then I was just as confused as all of y'all, so I'm really sorry. Okay, so y'all know I just got back from leadership. We had a great Brave Babble last week that Sabrina did on hostess coaching, and I feel like that was really needed, and I hope you guys have taken her checklist. I hope you have rewatched that training, which I uploaded. It's actually on my YouTube channel as well. That's where I'll be uploading all of them, so you can go back. You can share with your teams as you think, oh, you know, maybe someone joins in another month and they need help with hostess coaching. You can remember Sabrina talking about, go grab it from my YouTube and just give it to them, no problem. Last week I was in New Orleans at Cincy Leadership, and it was such a great leadership. For those of you that don't know, leadership is for directors and above. And Jennifer Mackle, Reba, is asking me for the link. I just got a message, so you may, if you can send it to her, that would be great. So leadership is for directors and above, and I was really excited this year to go because it was my first time to go as a superstar director. So it was really exciting. Now, I've attended 4 leaderships now, and they've all been in different locations. I'm just going to share this for those of you that have the vision to go further in your business and to hit director or above. And the first year, it was at an all-inclusive resort in Cancun. Probably, hands down, my husband even said he thinks that's been his favorite trip. And we've taken a lot of trips in the past 4 years with Cincy. And I think a lot of it comes with the fact that that was our very first trip with Cincy. So, and then we had a cruise for leadership, and then we went to New York last year. This year we were in New Orleans. So a lot of great things, a lot of dreaming big. And if you guys ever follow, I share with you guys on Tuesday nights, Allison Dalkey and her husband Brian do the Steps to Success, and I always share it. I'll share it tonight onto the team page. But I was invited with a group of my friends to come to a training they were doing for their team. And y'all, I was so excited because I have watched them since day one. Because like I have been sharing with you guys over the past few weeks, if you want to be successful in this business, find successful people, follow them. Don't be afraid to reach out to them. Okay, it's different if you don't know them. But even in our own team, there are many successful people. So find people, build relationships with them. Early on in my business, I didn't have a team really, to be honest with you. I had a superstar director, I had an upline director, but it wasn't what we have here in Brave Family. So I did reach out to other people, and I have followed Lindsay and Brian for, it's going on 5 years. I've been doing it 4 years now. And I love them too, Lindsay. They are just such godly people, and they speak to my heart all the time. So when that invitation came out, I was all about it. And it was so great. Y'all don't know me on a personal level, most of you, but strange as it may be, I don't like speaking in front of groups. If I'm in a group setting, I'll be the one taking a back seat. I was just talking with my family members about that because like I have this persona with Cincy where I'm like, Cincy. But in real life, I can be very chill. And if you meet me, I may not be as exciting as you think. And so I was really, I don't know why I was saying that. I don't speak in front of people. And I certainly do not cry in front of people. But their training had me speaking in front of people and crying. And then I was like, I'm a freaking fool. I need to stop. But I felt like I was in church, and it was really, really great. So what I'm going to share tonight is going to be part of what Cincy, it all worked in together really well. Cincy did, and then what Brian and Allison did. And if you see this, I'm sorry. My plan was to only use one hand because I'm tearing off my nails because they're driving me crazy. So I look kind of crazy. It was really great. So it all went together, and I'm going to screen share a couple of things, and I'm also going to share with you how I break down my goals every month. And I will be honest that through the fall season, I have fallen away from breaking them off like I'm going to show you. Some of you guys have worked with me more one-on-one, and I have given you this sheet that I'm going to show all of you guys. After the call, I'll upload it to the group page so you guys can use it. I got it from a mentorship program I paid for and I was part of for the last year. And it just really helps me to break down my goals. So first, we're going to talk about dreaming big. And I absolutely know, a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, why do they always talk about their why and their dreaming big? But one of the things that Allison and Brian kept saying to us is, it cannot be all about Cincy. If you do not have something you're working for or a reason, you're going to be saying, well, now what? And I will be honest and tell you guys that I kind of got to that point. My goal has always been to hit superstar director. We hit it in October, and I've been kind of just coasting like, well, now what? I don't know how to, it's just like making the changes that come along with that in our group, and then myself, like, well, now what? And it was really instilled in me last week that I have to remember to keep my focus on the bigger picture, which is not Cincy, quite frankly. It is why I do Cincy. And so in Cincy, they ended up giving at the Cincy training, they ended up giving us this piece of paper called Action Plan. I have all the notes in my notebook, so I haven't filled that out yet. But they wanted us to create my handwritten notebook. They wanted us to create an action plan for the year. And so that took a lot of thinking from me, like, oh, I don't really know, like, where am I going with my business? If you guys follow me on social media, you absolutely know that we have a 6-year plan to retire back to Texas. It's a big deal to me. Someone said to me today, I love how proud you are of the driveway y'all put in. And I'm like, well, heck yeah. Well, first of all, it was like a ton of money. Second of all, like, that is our vision. So for us, my vision is it's so close, but yet 6 years is so far. So for my husband and I, we have to sit down and break down, like, what is the reason I'm working Cincy so hard? Like, what are the things I'm working for each year? Maybe one year we need to have enough money to put a well in. Next year, we've got to have enough money to put a foundation in. All those little pieces that go along with it. Maybe for you, it's you just want to put your kids in gymnastics for the year. And we all know that is not cheap. Maybe you want to cover the grocery budget for the year, and that's not cheap either. Maybe you just want to pay for a date night for you and your spouse once a month or whatever. You need to have a reason. And we need to, like, Allison and Brian have been doing Cincy for 9-10 years, maybe 10 years. And clearly, they probably make a whole lot of money. And they said there, like I said it this morning in the training, taboo's the word. They said money should not be such a taboo object because most people, like 99% of people would not be working hard for a business if they were not trying to make money. So don't be afraid to work your business to make money. Many times I feel like we hold ourselves back because we think it's wrong to want to make money. And this is going off on a tangent really quick. If you follow me on social media, you know that my sister and I are very close. We are both entrepreneurs, and she has her own, like, legit business. And, I've shared with her a lot, like, I feel like growing up, not purposely, but I feel like it was put in my head that maybe money was bad or having money was bad. This doesn't even make sense probably. We didn't grow up with a lot of money. So I feel like comments would be made, like, from my grandma pretty much. It would be like, well, I would much rather spend time with you than have money. Or I would much rather have that family time than have money. And I recently said to my grandma one day when I was sharing with her, like, in the last 6 months about what Cincy is doing for our family, and she makes that comment again, I instantly said, but Grandma, why can't I have both? And I want you guys to think that way. Like, if you're doing it for the right reasons to make money, like my husband and I, we are so focused on giving back more to our church, to the community who, we give back to people randomly. I always try and give to somebody each month outside of, like, what we do in our church. And as long as you're not being greedy about it, I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to have money. So with that said, I'm going to share with you guys dreaming big. And I want you to realize I'm going to screen share with you what I did at leadership, and you're going to see my notes, and you may think, oh my gosh, but please remember, I have been doing this 4 years, and before I even show you the pictures, I want you to know that my very first goal with Cincy was to pay my van off early, and a lot of you have been around long enough to remember that picture. How many of y'all? Anybody? Casey, I think maybe you saw that picture, right? Like, I put a picture up of my white van, and no, it wasn't a white van, I'm sorry. It was a tan van. And my goal, I've been doing Cincy for about 6 months, and I realized I have no idea where this extra $200 to $600 is going each month. And that's a lot of money to not know where it's going. And I made a decision then that I needed to know, obviously it was paying bills, but what exactly am I contributing to? And I made a goal then that I wanted my van paid off in the next 2 years. And I ended up paying it off in the next, I think, a year and a half. And I paid it off within 12 months. I made a graphic. I proclaimed it that this van was going to be paid off by December of whatever that year, the next year was. And I had it paid off by August of before that December. And it was the most exciting thing to me. So for the next year and a couple of months, I got to drive my amazing van that was completely paid for, that I owned. And I always said, Cincy paid for this van, and I will drive it till it is gone. And I did. We had a wreck and it was gone. So now I have a new car. But our focus has shifted. So when I show you my big dreams and my big goals, I don't want you to think it's very unrealistic. I want you to understand that my goals and my dreams started a lot smaller as well. I can't even remember what it was after the van. I think so much happened in Cincy that at that point we grew and we grew, and I kept working very hard that at some point it shifted where Cincy was able to become pretty much what supports our family. And you guys know the income disclosure, because it's going to be uploaded on YouTube. So make sure we all know the Cincy income disclosure. And our family does not have a lot of debt, so it doesn't take a lot to support our family. And the military pays for our house, so it doesn't take a lot. So just know that. So while we were dreaming big with Cincy, our dream in our family is to build our home in Texas debt-free. We have 6 years for that. So I'm going to screen share, and I need to know if you guys see my screen. Oh, can you see it? Lindsay, I'm looking at you. Can you see it? Okay, sorry, you're the one that shows up on my screen. So in Allison and Brian's class, they turned on worship music, and they gave us about 5 minutes to write. And this is what I wrote. In 2024, 6 years, I want to move onto our property in Texas with our dream barn house debt-free. I want to be able to buy my daughter a horse and my son a dirt bike, no stress. I want my husband to be able to fully retire. I want my husband to homeschool more, which would help me work Cincy more. I want to be involved in whatever congregation we're part of in Texas and give back more money to support Israel and those causes, and to help more of my family. Oh, I think my mom's on this call. Oh, okay. And I wrote, to help those in our family, my mom, and I would love to build my mom her own house. I've always said that for many years. Sorry, Mom, if you're on here, I didn't tell you that. And it all comes down to just wanting freedom and to be near family forever. So for me to put those in words, even though I know that's true, y'all, was super emotional. Like Brian and Allison said, like, you've got to figure out what is pushing you into action. Like, it may be something that's super emotional. And when I spoke and I broke down, I'm like, this is my dream, because by that point, we will have lived away from our family for 20 years. And I know many of you guys can understand that. Like, we moved away when I was 20 years old, you know? And so that is our big dream vision. And I want to be able to raise my children to be successful contributors to their communities and not hurting financially. And I also want to teach them by experience the way of life. And it all comes down again to freedom, the freedom to do what we want. So I really would love for you guys after this call to take 5 minutes and just think, what if Cincy could do anything for you in life, what would it be? And I'm telling you right now, after 4 years, like going through this in my head, this is what it boils down to for me. This brings me to tears, right? Like that I'm working for this. And to know that, oh my gosh, our vision is to be back here, like where we're at right now in the country, raising our children and doing it because of Cincy. And there's no dream that is too big. So don't think that. Let's see, so I went on because they said draw pictures. And so you see on the left-hand side, I'm saying digging a well, because I'm like, oh, I've got to talk to my husband. What are these steps? Building a foundation, designing my house however I want. My other deeper vision is to be able to build an additional barn along the side that will be a guest house that in hopes in the next 6 to 10 years, I can hold my own Cincy retreats there for my team. And I drew right there the creek, and it's very limited drawing. And then why is this so personal to me? Why is this something I want? Up on the right hand side, you can see that my brother's death has made me want to be home. So that is my vision. And I absolutely know that this dreaming is dreaming really big, but I absolutely know it's also I'm capable of it. And on this page I wrote, well, what is my house going to look like? And so that's just me writing. And then I'm like, $350,000, way more than we really want to spend on a house. But here I am wanting a whole nother functional kitchen or barn to be able to host people in and be able to do stuff like that. Y'all, I'm dreaming big. And I really want to encourage you guys to take a minute and dream big. And then what Allison and Brian had us do, which I had not done yet because I really wanted to do it with my husband, was to break it all down on, you know, we know we've got 6 years. That's us. We know we've got 6 years for this. So what do we need to do for this year to feel like we accomplished whatever goal it was? Last year we had a financial goal to be saved. I think we met it. I don't remember. But like, what is it you need to do to reach each goal? If it's to pay your car off, like what is it that you need from Cincy and how are you going to get there? So I just want to show you guys some of my notes in Cincy. So that was my dreaming big. Okay, that was with Allison and Brian. That's where it all boils down to. My dream, my vision, why I work so hard is for in 6 years, when we return right here back in East Texas, we can build whatever house we want. We will be okay. And in Cincy training, they wanted us to come up with a belief statement for the year. And that was a little hard for me because for many years, my belief statement has been, I will be a director, or I will be a star director, or I will be a superstar director. Well, I've kind of already reached those places now. The next place for me as an achievement would be Circle of Excellence, which is a very long ways away, right? That's when you have 6 superstar directors directly underneath you. So Cincy gave us this little handy dandy envelope, and it was confidential, and it has my numbers from the year in comparison with all the directors, star directors, and superstar directors. And I think I told you guys this last week. We have always been well above director averages, and looking at it, we only promoted to a star director group in March, and even looking at it, we were well above, even if I take away the months we were superstar, we were well above them. And then in superstar director, we're on the low end, but we are a very, very small, young team. So when I looked at it, what do I need to do for my business? And so my belief statement for the year, I know that I need to double my front line, people that join directly under me, so I can be kind of at least with the average superstar directors. I have about 43 frontline now. Average superstar directors have about 78. However, that's about 40 people, right? And so 35, I guess. And it was, that's the gap down here. I don't think I can, let's see, who showed me how to write this? Oh yeah, I'm learning. There's the gap right there. Like, what is my gap? My gap is 40 frontline. So what is it that I need to do? I need to have 40 frontline. And so instead of telling myself I just have 12 months because it really scared me, I wrote it on there that I'm giving myself from May of 2019. And you guys can see where I scratched because it was the end of the year. So top of like dream big and what your big dream was sent is down on paper. I want you guys to think about what is your belief statement, your big goal for 2018. And it can be anything. Because let me tell you, people tell me all the time, I want to be a director. And maybe you don't want to be a director. I'm just using this as an example. In January of 2014, I certified that month. By September, I was a director. So yes, I did it very quickly. The years that I can say Casey Griffith, by 12 months, she was a director. It can be done. The thing I can find, and I can tell you, the common denominator when I watch people is that their focus is very laser focused. This is what they want. And whatever it is you want, maybe it's just a certain number paycheck. Maybe it's just, you know, whatever, paying for whatever it is you want to pay for. Put it down on paper. What is your belief statement? And then down here, they put what your gap is. Oh, I just realized that those names on there. Whoops. And so my goal was, I gave myself 2. I gave myself this one, but I also want to promote 2 new directors. And clearly, sorry, I put Amanda Head and Jessica Dan. All your business there. They are my 2 people that I really want to see hit director in the next 6 months, that are really actively working with me and telling me they want it. So if you had a team, make sure you know what your people want and make sure you're working with the people that want it. So I want you guys to think about what is your big belief statement for 2018. And that's going to help you as you, sorry, I'm trying to get out of this. That's going to help you as you move forward setting your goals. Maybe you've already set your goals, or maybe you need to see what else you need to do, what else you need to change. And so then over here, I just clear. clear all drawing. Over here, I put different plans I have. What are my plans for it? So I'm going to X out of this because that's got some personal stuff in it. But I want to show you guys what my goal sheet that I use. And I tried to take a picture to show you because I've already written, but it isn't showing up correctly. So this is what I do, and this is what helps me. On here, and again, if you want this, I can upload it. This is what I did for about 6 months out of last year. And when I did it, it really helped me. So on here, each month, I have goals, life goals for my family, my health and fitness, my mental, personal growth, spiritual, and then my business goals. And then I prioritize it, right? And I have it for every single month, and I write them down. And I'll tell you guys what I have for January. And what this does is it helps me bring it down and write things down that I'm going to work on and know it and really focus on it. And then I take what are my priorities, and they're right here. This is the paper that gets me by every month. I put my action steps for hitting whatever goals I'm working for, because I can have a goal. Like, say my goal is I want 2,000 PRV. Well, if you don't know what action steps you're taking to get there, how are we going to reach that goal? Do we need to meet new customers? One of the things I talked about in the summer, I told a lot of you guys that my goal was to get $300 from new customers. So if that was one of my goals, over here I'm putting what my action steps are. And this right here is how I track it. And because I like to make a lot of goals, a lot of times, I actually would half it and put what my goal is. And I would write it like, that's my life goal. Let me find my paper because I wrote some down. I have them all printed. So in my life goal, January is a different month, a very strange month for me, because I'm going to go ahead and X out of this, but I will upload that if you guys want that. My goal in January, everything for January is so different because I'm not in my house. None of January, I'm at home, so everything's very different. So my family and home goals are to homeschool at least 3 days a week, because it gets very hard when you're traveling and you're not at home to make sure that gets done. My health and fitness is I just started a regimen, and I just have it written down what I want to make sure I get done. And then mental and personal growth, because I will tell you guys, during Allison and Brian Dalkey's thing, they had us, after we dream big, after lunch, they had us take 4 sheets of paper. This would be a really good exercise to do. And to write down, they told us the 4 biggest areas of your business are your personal business, your team, building leaders, and personal growth. And they had us take 4 pieces of paper and write down those at the top. And then they gave us about 5 to 10 minutes to write down what we use. And it gives you a really good picture on where you spend most of your time. And most of my time is on, everything I wrote down where it's the longest is my team, because that's absolutely what I love, right? But personal development, the only thing I had written down was church. And I buy a lot of books, but I don't finish them. I'm doing it now because we're doing the book club, right? So I have to read it to make sure I get my parts in for Amanda and help her. So it's that accountability, which is great for the book club. But it was very interesting to be sitting in a room full of a bunch of leaders to realize that most of us, like probably 90% of us, are lacking in our personal development. The 4 areas are personal business. That means like your PRV, your customers, your recruiting, all that. The second one is your team as a whole. Communication with your team, creating that community among your team, or being part of the team group, whatever it is you're doing. The third one was building leaders, because that's a whole nother ball game. It's building leaders is very different from just working with your team. And then the last one was personal growth, personal development. So although we're doing the book club, I decided that I really needed to focus more on me. And one of the things is I go to the gym every morning with Sabrina, Monday through Friday. That's personal development. That's personal growth, which they stressed about. Like, we've got to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. And that was really, really big for me, because I always put myself last. Like, I don't have time. I'm tired. And that's one of the things I need the most in my life. So for me, that personal growth and development has been going to the gym with Sabrina. I'm not with her this month, so I'm having to make sure it's getting handled. what I put down for this month, because health and fitness is different on this planning sheet, I went through my Audible books, and I have one called Women Living Well. I have no idea what it's about, but I bought it at one time because I thought it might have looked good, I guess. And I decided that I was going to listen to at least 15 minutes a day. I don't know how many of you guys saw my post on Facebook today. I was talking about how I don't sit still very well. And I'm honestly having a hard time here with it being snowy and all this. And it's only been one day that I'm feeling this way. And I feel like I'm stuck, and I'm not in my house. I don't have my stuff, and the Wi-Fi was kind of messing up, so I couldn't work very well. And I asked about books. I didn't want personal development books. I don't want business books. I just want enjoyment books, because that is something, I need to write that down, that Allison Dalkey or Brian shared with us. We stayed after, my group of friends, and Brian sat with the 6 of us and talked to us for 45 minutes. And he shared, one of the things with Allison is, if she reads one chapter of her personal development book, she reads one chapter of a romance book, whatever. It's a balance. And I thought that is so genius, because now for 4 years, I have not read a good book for 4 years. It's all been about my business, or making me a better wife, or a better mom, or a better leader. And so I'm really going to try and do that as well, because if you're I don't ever sit down to read anymore. And one of the things, what was I listening to before I left home? Oh, no. After I got here, I met with a nutritionist, and she had said, one of the things she said to me was, I didn't love the meeting with her, by the way. It was kind of whatever. But one of the things she said to me that was very key was, I need more sleep. Well, if you know me from anything, I probably do need more sleep. And she also said that I need to take an hour before bed and turn off all screens. Well, we all know that, but how hard is that? Because I'm talking to y'all till I pass out in my bed. Many times my phone falls on my face and wakes me up, because I'm chatting with people, right? And I was telling my sister, that is so hard. That's so hard, because nighttime is when I'm really getting a lot done. But I realized how important that is for me. And my sister said, Cassie, maybe that's the time that you put on your Audible and you listen to books, or maybe that's the time you get your Kindle out and you read, because your Kindle, the way they describe it, whatever, the lighting in your phone and TV and computer is different than on your Kindle. Okay, you guys have heard that. That's all beyond me. But I'm like, well, maybe that's right. So I'm trying. So that's something that I took from Brian that he said about Allison. And he said he has to hold her accountable to that, to make sure she gets both of that. My husband would tell me I'm crazy if I asked him to hold me accountable to make sure I'm reading. But, whatever works. So I did put on there to listen to this book, and then also to a book I enjoy. Actually, I just wrote that. But you saw me post that on Facebook today. And then it also has a part for spiritual. If you're not spiritual, just whatever. I am spiritual. I love Jesus. So on here I put that normally at home, I'm reading the Bible with my kids every day. I will not lie that when I'm traveling, that is very hard. So I put on here just at least 3 days a week to make sure I'm sitting with my kids and we're reading. And to be honest, I guess it just hit me as kind of cheating, because our homeschool is from the Bible. So, I'm homeschooling 3 days a week too. Winning. Okay, so the next one is our business goals, and that is what's down here. And you can see on my paper it's blank, because I was sitting in there with a million kids running around today thinking, what are my business goals for this month? And why is it the 16th of the month and I don't have them written down? That's the biggest problem. Because I've been telling you guys, because I think Courtney, you were one of them that commented. I told you guys maybe on a live or something, my goal is to ask 2 people a week to join my team, right? And I think, Courtney, you said, that's a good idea. Maybe it wasn't you, but I feel like it was. I told you guys that, but I haven't asked a soul this month, and I have to make sure I'm right. When I write things down and I have them in front of me, I can get a lot more done. So what are your business goals for this month? I'm laying a lot out, I know, but I want you guys to dream big and know that whatever your business goals are, if you are working hard and you're trying, these business goals are going to help you reach whatever your ultimate goal is. So I know some of you are really working hard to earn a certain level this month, because we end our incentive January 31st. So some of you are working very hard for that. Others of you are working to get paid at title. Others of you are working very hard to get that team member. Some of you are working very hard to hit shooting star, sensational start. Whatever it is you're working hard for, make sure you fight to the end. I saw a post today, and I wanted to share it with you guys, and I didn't because my internet was wonky, but it was on the page about the incentive earners, and they were just talking about no matter where you're at, do not give up. If you are 2,000 or whatever you are away from where you want to get, bust your butt, guys. You have plenty of time. We still have 15 days. I'm going to call you out because you're awesome. Shannon Head. If we worked our business like Shannon Evans does, like when she's working for a goal. Shannon, I told you a couple months ago, right? Like, girl, if you did like the way she goes on that last day of the month, and that 1 month you were able to hustle out, I don't know, a lot, right? Remember? Yeah. She was going for a goal. Can you type it, how much it was? But if we did that every day, and I know it gets tiring, but if you're going for a goal, you can do it. I don't remember. I know for me personally, there was 1 month I'm like, oh my gosh, at the end of the month, the last day of the month, I was nowhere near my goal. And I spent all day working that day. And I pulled out $1,000 in PRV because I was asking everyone. I was talking to everyone. So if we did that for the next 16 days, you wouldn't have to work near as hard as I did that one day. We would just have to work a couple of hours every day. And the fortune is in the follow up. If you have not followed up, I posted something in the group today that another director shared with different ideas to do to help you get those points. If you have not followed up, y'all, get to following up. If you have been around for a little while and you have not opened up that Bring Back My Bar file that's in your workstation, open it up. Message those people. There's so much that can be done in 15 days. There we go. Shannon said $1,100. And by that day, she was exhausted, right, girl? Heck yes. You know, so don't let your fears and things overwhelm you that it hinders you. Work hard this month, guys. We are so close to the end of this incentive. And then you're going to get to breathe. And then they're going to release a new one, which is the most exciting thing. So some of you guys that have been hustling, actually, I'll be honest with y'all. When they announced at Reunion that we were about to have, they were going to change our 3-month summer incentive to a 6-month, I'm all like, heck yes, because incentives push me. If you give me an incentive, even if I don't want it, I'm going to work my tail and I'm going to try and get it. But some of my friends were saying, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to get a lot of, backlash on this, like, because people are so tired from working so hard. I want to encourage you, when it comes out on February 1st, when your director offers to help you make a plan, take her up on it and then start working. The best thing you can do for yourself is to work hard those first 3 months, and then it's there, it's coming. It's very hard in the last month when you're pushing so hard to get it. I see it every year, but it can be done. Don't think it can't be done. Are you rolling your eyes at me, Amanda? Because she's busting her tail really, really hard. Okay, so I'm just messing. So there we go. Shannon, will you go on the group page when you have time and share with people what you did that last day? And just make a post or something. That way everyone knows. I'm telling you guys, in our family of people, there are amazing people. If you have questions on how to do stuff and you can't find it yourself, go ask. Make sure you always go and try and find something yourself, because otherwise you're not going to grow. But you can definitely ask when you're there, because people are like really succeeding in this business. When I opened up, I can't remember the number, but I shared yesterday, I think, the Excel spreadsheet on how many people have earned. It flabbergasted me. We have never had this many people earn an incentive, and it's so exciting. Come for our next 6-month one, I know we're going to have even more. It's so exciting. I totally got off track. So you want to get your reason for working Cincy. What is it? Dream big. Early on, mine was to pay my van off early. Now it's for our future house, which is a big dream, I know. Figure out what it is for you with your family. Why are you working so hard? And then break it down. Break it down. Like, I know some of you want to bring your spouse home. Some of you want to be home with your kids. Some of you want, those are the 2 biggest ones I always hear. I really want to stay with my kids. I really want to bring my spouse home. What do you need to do to get there? I will be done talking. I have not talked this long without anybody talking in a long time. One of the things Allison Docky did, and it was a little bit scary, was when she asked a question, the first person that spoke up, she said, what is your big dream? And the girl says, well, I want to build a house. And Allison says, why? Y'all, she dug into that girl. Everything that girl said, she was like, well, why? Well, why? Well, it came down to the fact, well, they're going to have their own space for her children. Right now, they live in a very small house, and it's hard. They would have their own house. It would relieve a lot of stress on her husband. They would have more freedom to have land for the kids to play. And then she says, well, how would it make your relationship with your husband? I mean, she dug it down. So when you're thinking about your biggest reason for Scentsy, dig deep. And what is it going to do? How is it going to change your life? How is it going to change your life? I saw a quote that I wrote down. I probably can't find it right now. Okay. She says, so some of the things they said, I just want to share with you guys, and then I'll stop talking. And if y'all have any questions while I'm saying some of these things, go ahead and type them in the thing and I'll answer them. She said, scary things are worth doing. Do you think it scares the bejesus out of me to think about paying a house or building my own house debt-free? Yes, it does. Because scary things, we always think, well, what if I fell? Perfect example. October, we decided we were going for Superstar Director. And I said to my friends, do I proclaim this? Because everything in my life, when I'm going to do something, I say I'm going to do it. And I just speak it, right? Words are very big for me. And I said it, and they were like, well, yes, why wouldn't you? You would do it with everyone else. And I literally said, but what if I don't? What if I don't hit it? And they said, so what if you don't hit it? You worked hard getting there. So remember that. Remember that, remember that, remember that. Like, don't let fear scare you away from working towards something. Remember, you're always moving forward and you're making progress. And always take the time each month. I do it with this chart, this one. There's another one you'll see when I upload it. It gives you a reflection area to reflect on how you did for the month. So always take the time to self-evaluate and self-reflect on your personal self and your business. We forget that we have this opportunity called Scentsy in our back pocket that has really changed our lives. It has changed people on this. Maybe you're like, well, it hasn't really changed my life yet. Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you as a witness, it's changed my life. And there are people in this team who can tell you the same exact thing. So if you haven't gotten to that point yet, I just want to encourage you, because that's why you want to see your bigger vision. So she says, what's your dream outside of Scentsy? What lights your fire and gives you a reason for this business? Because if something's not lighting your fire, you're not going to keep it very long. Faith, marriage, kids are always very important. So make sure, many times we have spouses that are not supportive. Make sure your husband or wife or whatever is not feeling like Scentsy comes before them. And I'm telling you that from a place of, I've been there, done that. Work it when you can, where they don't feel like Scentsy is the bad man. You don't want that. And then she said, what is visual and emotional to me to make me work my business? What's visual and emotional to me is building my home here on this property. And that makes me work my business. I need to find something in me to move me forward. We are called to greater things. Such great information from Allison Dalkey. I just want to tell you guys, it was such a great time. And I hope you guys take something away from this and get your big dream written down. Draw something, whatever. You saw me, I wrote and draw. I can't draw. My kids draw better than me. Send it to me. Send me a message. Let me see what you wrote. I want to know. I want to be there to support you guys. I am here. This is my full time. Many of your directors, this is their full time. We are here to support you. That is our vision. I'm going to upload this as well. If you want to fill it out and send it or post it, do it so people hold you accountable. I know in my team, meaning when I'm your director, there's no director between us. When I do my brain boxes with people, I put it on our team page and I put on there that I did a brain box with so-and-so, and these are her 3 challenges. And I do it for the support of the team and for them to feel that support as well. The other thing before I go is this 90-day slay. I will upload this as well. Stephanie Hicks redid it to this one, and I'll upload both of these into the files in Brave Family. And this is something I went live about this morning that I'm trying to do a lot this month while I'm gone. Let's see, does anybody have any questions? Jessica, I know Scentsy has changed your life. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm scrolling up real fast. I'm going to go through. I'm actually going to go ahead and stop recording. So if you were watching the recording, thanks so much.